Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
Why don't we just get into what we like to do around here and what y'all are here to see? Yes, because it's that time to talk about The Bachelor on our show! Yes, but before we get talking about The Bachelor, YouTube, I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelor content just like this. And if you just did, woohoo! Ooh, huge shout out to you. Ooh, air horns for you. Oh man, you know we have to shout out to our comment crew. It's been a while, but I went back and searched our last video and saw who left a comment, and there was a couple of you that I just want to shout out. We're gonna give a big "Where you at, Nancy Drew crew?" because I need to see y'all back in the comments because we back.
Yeah,
Marion SP is
That's
in
a
there.
mystery if I've ever seen one.
I know we're
Where
gonna need a new crew to find Nancy Drew. But we got Marion SP, we got Marty, we got Sunny Days 00, and we got Peggy's 430. Shout out to you guys saying goodbye, thinking we were leaving, but we're back. And you could get a shout out on the show too. All you got to do is leave a comment on this video. Let us know what you think about this season so far, any thoughts on the pod, or just wanting to say hi to us. We comment back, and we love to talk to you and see you. So make sure you're joining our family here. Veronica, where do you think we should start with this episode? Obviously, we in past years we've talked about how episode 1 isn't our favorite episode, but I don't know what they did this time around. Like, it didn't feel as there was definitely some cringy moments where I was like, ugh, but
it felt better produced. I feel like they really do be putting in more money to the Bachelor seasons. Like, just let's start from the top.
Yeah.
Let's start from the top. The intro to the episode, I'm going to say it was epic. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely paid a pretty coin to get that Billie Eilish cinematic.
They were playing, When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish over a teary Joey as he's on, what is the palapa or whatever you call it, for, what is supposed to be the final rose, as he's then sobbing and seeing, like, we see a back of a car go away, and we see him then, like, going with the producers, taking off his jacket and, like, the rose in the background, and we're all like, shit, what's gonna happen? And then it does, like, a true, like, rewind, like, through all, like, highlights of the season really quick.
Yeah, you know what? It would have been funny if it was, like, if they really went somewhere different and made it, like, one of those, like, movies. People are like, yeah, that's me getting left at the altar. But just a few months earlier, you wouldn't have believed that's where I would end up. My name is Joey. And, like, something like that. But,
I would die if they had Joey doing, like, a voiceover like that. That'd be hilarious. Because they did, like, that format just without, like, the, like, record scratch and voiceover like that. It pretty much was the same thing, because it was like blah blah blah, and then it was all like, all right, 2 months earlier, and it's got him like rolling in on a motorcycle being like, I'm back in Philly now, I left Hawaii, I'm back with my family after being heartbroken by Charity, and like blah blah blah, slow motion tennis, him with a shirt off. Like, definitely they're leaning in. It's always based on whatever the dude's profession is. It's like, when Ari was the, race car driver. Every 5 seconds, Pilot Pete. Like, even back in the Chris Soul days, like, because he was a farmer, everything was like a tractor. It was just it's always like really much so like, what is their
I think they call it
profession.
Like, they call it plot armor, where you have stuff that really helps fill out the plot and, like, make it more secure. It's like stuff that, like, they can go to with themes and stuff. But it's kind of crazy though. Like, what a way to go searching for your wife by moving in with your parents. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, he's all like, yeah, I needed to be back home. I'm like, you were in Hawaii. Like,
What it
You
is
could just
that
be
he
on a
doesn't know what
beach
his
picking up a biddy.
Yeah, he doesn't know what his living situation is going to be post show. So he's like, just get rid of everything. I'll figure it out when I get home from the show and when I have more money or whatever. So,
I mean, I honestly think that's almost like a great way to do it, because that does make him more flexible to, like, you know,
Pick up and
wherever
go.
some of these women might live, depending on, like, some of them have, like, I mean, some of them say even when they get out the limo, like, what things they gave up to be there, which I think is crazy. No offense. I don't think I would be doing any of that. But like, if some of them have, like, you know, jobs that they can go back to, or things, or like whatever that's important to them back in wherever they're at, I think that does make him more flexible. And he's just like his whole demeanor is that he's like very like in tune. I think like to when we watched him on Charity Season, how he was always like a lot of great eye contact, very like in tune with her, like always like really like making like just like very calming and grounded. And that's like, I feel like that lets him continue that vibe into this season, as well as like that's already something the women are talking about.
Yeah,
like,
I think
he definitely has that vibe.
now that I seen this episode and they were like, oh my God, your eyes are beautiful. That's what he's doing. That's all he's doing. It's not like he has great eye contact. He just knows he has great eyes. And if he does this peering into like your heart and soul, you're going to be like, oh, look at his eyes. Like that's pretty much what I think he's going for there. But
I mean, if he isn't actually giving a shit about people and he does just have pretty eyes and he just knows how to use them, I mean, I guess I wouldn't complain about it either.
Yeah.
So,
right. Well,
you know.
we got the girlies showing up, which was definitely a term that they were using for the crew. I don't know how we go through all these girls, but let's talk about some of the entrances that kind of stood out to you, and then we'll get into the house and like the women that are kind of starting to
we'll
take
get
the
into
forefront.
some of that stuff. So, Jesse says that this is the most women ever coming on a night, and that he's breaking a record, or he's making history, which at Bachelor Data, love to follow their content on Instagram about all this stuff, said that was not true, because Matt James's season also had 32 women arrive on night one. And then, as we know, in Matt James's season, he had, that like second tier of like, a handful of women that came in later. But interesting to see if anything like that will happen. But the first girlie out the limo was Lexi, who's actually from Atlanta, and she has endometriosis, which is a, situation with your uterus that could make it hard for you to ever have kids. And it kind of impacts your reproductive health as a woman. And she talks a lot about that. She gets the first like little intro package. She's definitely going to be kind of like a girl to follow, to remember, to know, because I just feel like she's kind of like, she's got a campaign. It's, I want to be a mom, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to be a mom by myself kind of deal. And like, I'm also bringing more recognition to endometriosis, which is actually something friend of the show, Kelly Johns, has been doing a lot of on her own platform as well. So I think it's kind of a cool space to be in, to be able to see like a little bit more about women's bodies, reproductive health and stuff like that being brought up on the show. Probably a smart move on ABC's part. So I thought she definitely one to watch, one to follow. Another girl who got a intro package was Maria, and she's definitely being booked as the quirky, silly girl. Like, they had her doing stupid, quirky little, like, like, whatever stuff in her little intro package. And she's one of the Canadian girlies. There's a couple of them. And she's the one that comes out with waving the flag. And the flag is blurred, which I don't know what that means. I don't know why the flag is blurred. I don't know if it had something to do with some deals.
The Canadian flag has a trademark on it, the logo. So, like, they can't legally put it on television on a TV show.
But it's the Canadian flag.
Yeah, but the logo on it is trademarked, and they didn't get the proper permission, apparently, or something.
That's crazy.
It is, right?
That's crazy to think about. Because
isn't Canada... I mean... Wait, is no, never mind. I'm gonna say something dumb here. Anyways, because I was gonna say, is Canada not part of North America?
It is part of North America.
Okay. I was gonna say
yeah.
that. I was like, I'm not good at geometry, but anyways.
A classic joke from Side.
Anyways, thanks for calling it out. But yeah, so that's what happened with that. I like Maria. I think she's gonna be one of those like what's her Olympia? What's her name? That was on Nick's season. Corinne. She's like one of those.
Corinne, yeah.
She's, I think, like one of those characters where like they're just fun. She seems really sweet too. She's probably
She's
gonna
also Greek. Corinne's Greek, which makes sense, and this Maria girl's Greek, so that makes sense. They kind of both have similar vibes.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like one of those things where like they have like rich family, but she seems a lot sweeter in the sense that like she just like one of those outgoing girls that probably has trouble finding guys for some reason. So I have a feeling like she's going to probably get her heart broken at some point. But so far, I like her.
Yeah, same.
Now, this next girl, Erica, oh my goodness. Erica's one of my top ones. I love her.
Erica's hot. Erica's coming in with that flavor. She's coming in ready to like loosen Joey up. Because Joey is kind of like, he's kind of stiff. He's not like, I think he's easygoing. But I think he's just like, he's not the most like outgoing. He's very much so, he's like easygoing, not outgoing. Just like kind of will take the vibe, will absorb the energy, but he's not putting out a ton. He's like very much so like an observer.
Yeah.
And she comes in, showing him how to dance. He's going with it. He's all like, you're definitely going to have to teach me more. And she's like, I'm Cuban, I'm Dominican, we dance, we love, we whatever. Like, I'm trying to bring that, like, you know, that element. I wonder, like, if they're going to balance each other out down the line or if she might be too much for somebody like Joey. Who knows? But
I don't know.
Like
I felt like there was a vibe between them, and I think that's what he's looking for. Someone like, she just seemed like, because she has like, where's she from? Like New Jersey or something like that. She has like some city, you know, flair to her and stuff. And I just thought like it was like super attractive. Like, if I were to meet a girl like that and she's just like, you know, and she's sweet, she's beautiful, and she's got an accent and all this stuff, like she's just very outgoing. So yeah, I agree. I think Erica's one of those awesome ones. Then we got Autumn, who came in, and oh my goodness, like her little entrance didn't work out that well for her. I felt bad for her.
No, she tried to do like a little bit being all like, so what's your favorite season, to Joey, being all like, come on, dude.
It's almost like a magician when they're like, pick a card, any card, and like pick it from, like they want you to pick it from like this, and they're like, not that card, like, you know, like, because the trick gets messed up if you say. She had like a 25% chance to like, you know, get this answer right, because most people, I would say autumn's my favorite time of year. That would be mine. But he said, like, you know, maybe spring or summer. And it's like, well, if you could pick one more, what would it be? Winter? No. Anyways, so yeah.
He's like, well, that's hard to hear because my name's Autumn.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you in the house. Anyways,
I feel like she's going to become a bit of like a narrator for this season. I feel like we got a lot of like her narrating different stuff throughout the night of this first night. And I'm Facebook friends with her. She
wow.
I think she went to Mizzou for like a year and then transferred to University of Arkansas, I'm pretty sure, if I'm looking at her stuff online enough. But I'm pretty sure she was one of my summer welcome students at Mizzou, which means when she was coming in as a freshman and she went through orientation, I was the one who led her orientation.
Wow.
So weird.
That's very cool. Fun fact. So where else we got going on with these girls?
We had most of the normal entrances came first, and then we got some of the more like, you know, the prop-based entrances. We had Jen coming in a go-kart. We had
I like Jen too. I like Jen. She's hot.
I think Jen's cool. She came in on a go-kart saying how she had a race over from Miami when she heard that he was the Bachelor. I thought that was cute. And then she did go back to the golf carts later in the night to like hang out with him, and she was like kind of schooling him in the the go-kart. So
she was doing that Tokyo drift.
Yeah, she was Jess came in on the boat. We'll get to Jess later because she is a drama starter. And then Daisy came in with a Christmas tree farm truck because she grew up in Minnesota on a Christmas tree farm run by her parents and grandparents and stuff. And her grandpa would dress up as Santa. Spoiler alert. Santa isn't real, or at least not at her Christmas tree farm. And she talks a lot about how she is deaf. She has a cochlear implant, and she like started going deaf when she was 17, which is interesting. So definitely, another one of the girls, and she's definitely kind of matches, I feel like, Joey's energy a little bit more. She's a little bit more like easygoing, subdued, not like.
And
in
also,
your face.
she's like the typical it girl for. This is like the girl on the pedestal for the Bachelor producers picking contestants, right? Like when she walked in, everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is like the perfect person." Like if anything, she might be they might be prepping her to be like the next Bachelorette, if anything.
Yeah, because she's like relatable, but also has like a story, but also like, whatever. And then
plus she's super hot. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then the girl everybody was waiting for was Leah, because Leah was on the After the Final Rose and, got to be the one that like won or whatever, the little quick like first date with Joey there. And she was gifted a card that she was told she could not open until she got to the mansion, and it wouldn't be a date card. It would mean something else and it would change everything.
All right, can I ask something? Two things.
Yeah.
One, do you think that they never really gave her a card? It was just like, hold on to this or whatever like that. And if she did get the card, do you think she didn't read it? Or do you
There's
think
no way they let her have that card. There's no way.
Right. And second,
there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll talk about Leah in a little bit. She did some good things, but also I was feeling her more on the After the Rose or whatever when she was there. This was like something else. We can get into it more when she comes up. But where do we start with, like, when we get into the house and stuff? Oh, there was one entrance I wanted to bring up that I saw that was pretty good that didn't end up working out. I mean, 10 girls went home last night or for the first night, and one of them
10. I had no idea how many went home. I couldn't tell.
I knew that a big chunk of them had to go home because not only because there's a lot of them, but a lot of them weren't like up to par. I was like, I don't even understand. Like, they were really scraping the barrel. I felt like, no offense, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like
some of them were kind
like
of weird.
Yeah, they were like fillers or something like that. And
yeah, I don't know. I feel like they maybe because they wanted to be like, look at this. This is like our big season. We're going to put 32 women, which is so many. And they just like, were like, okay, who are we going to get? And I feel like there's definitely way more brunettes for this season. I guess maybe that was something Joey said with, I don't know, who knows.
But there was this one girl, Chandler, who came in. She's like, your name is Joey, my name is Chandler, and I just want to let you know that I'll be there for you. And I was like,
that was cute.
Yeah, I was like, cool. You saw that? You like that? Anyways, so yeah, we get into the house. The girls are all getting excited. It looks like what's it called? Who gets them first? It looks like Autumn pulls them first or something like that. But it's hit the ground running with this. There was no like rhyme or reason. It didn't seem like it started off with any drama. The only drama kind of bubbling was these two sisters that were kind of weird. I don't know. I thought the whole thing was kind of weird.
There's these sisters who are also from Philly, who one is Allison is 26 and her older sister Lauren is 28. And Lauren definitely has had more work done than maybe she should have. But that's my opinion. And like that though, it's like, oh, they make it, honestly, I think they drag this bit out for too long because they're all like, we're not gonna tell anybody, we're gonna hold it in, and we're not gonna tell Joey, we're gonna wait until the right moment. So then they're like pretending like they don't know each other, and it's just like, it's bullshit. And then they were like, they're running around in
Well,
corners.
they don't
being
really
all
look like
"Let me
sisters. They don't. I mean,
don't
besides them having long, like brown hair or whatever, like that, like I wouldn't be able to really say that they were sisters.
I feel like, I wonder if like in the pictures, like the kid pictures and stuff that they showed of them, they obviously look exactly alike. But I wonder like if they had pictures of the older sister maybe before she did her lips in some other filler, if they looked a little bit more similar.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But they hide it from the girls for all of, who knows, several hours maybe, because it's a long night. And then they decide to go in and they're like, we know there's been an elephant in the room. And like the other girls are like, what? And they're like, we're sisters. And they're like, oh.
Okay. That's weird.
Like, people are not phased. The most that they're phased by, they're all like, wow, I couldn't do that. Like, good luck to you. Like, you guys are crazy for that. Like, and they're like, have you guys ever dated the same person before? And they're like, well, there was one time we overlapped. And I'm all like, I don't know if I'd be talking about that. I don't know if I'd be like so proud about the fact that
What does that
me
even
and my
mean?
sister got played by a dude.
What is
Like, some dude dated both of them at some point.
What does overlapped mean?
To me, that means this dude was dating one of the sisters and then started flirting with the other sister and started hanging out with the other sister when maybe telling the other sister that him and the other sister were done. I don't think I would admit that. I don't think that looks good on anybody. I don't think that looks good. How does that look good?
It doesn't. But yeah, anyway, so enough of the sisters. Let's start talking about kisses, and we get our first kiss.
Jess was the first kiss, and she, she makes it known. She comes back into the room.
Mistake
and,
number one.
As I said,
oh my God. First of all, she's one of the ones where I was like, I thought she was going to go home like right away. But instead, like, instead she got the first kiss. Like, and then she went back in the house and told everybody, like, why are you doing that? That's so stupid. Like, just do it.
It's like Bachelor 101. Like, you don't come in, you don't kiss and tell in that way. Like, where's Nancy saying zip it, like, from the Golden Bachelor? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is like, don't go in and say that you guys really got to get some time with him because he's so great and those lips were great too. I got to smooch your roo. I saw
someone say, or what was it, like a meme or something? They were like, she's like the off-brand Hannah Brown, Hannah Beige.
Mm-hmm. That's like, literally what I was about to say. I'm like the Wish Hannah Brown.
Yeah.
Because like she definitely has like kind of the same look, but not really. But it's like, yeah, or if you're like trying to draw Hannah Brown from memory.
Yo, that's hilarious. But what got me thinking about her entrance was like, how do you pick if you're just like one of the girls that comes out of the limo, or you get to have this like extravagant like entrance on some big machine or something? Like,
I don't even remember why she came in on a boat. Like, yeah. I don't remember what she said.
She was like, I'll be your captain or something like that. Like
something. It wasn't memorable. All I remember is that she was on a boat and she was wearing a jumpsuit.
Was it because is there a captain? Is there a captain in tennis? I don't know. That's like so weird.
You played tennis. What do you mean? No.
Is there a captain? I don't know.
If you're like if you're like in high school, like on a large tennis team, yeah, there's a captain maybe, but like not really.
Okay. Yeah. So made no sense, but yeah, I don't know how she did it, but she got the first kiss. And then the kisses keep coming. Like there's a lot of kisses. Apparently a lot more, like almost double the amount of what most men have on their first episode.
Yeah. I think Zach had a decent amount. But
so it's like as of recently, the guys are just really going for it. They used to have a little bit more.
They're really going for it.
Yeah,
they're really going in. He kissed Jess. He kisses Jen, who came in on the go-kart. He kisses Daisy, the Christmas tree farm girl. He kissed Allison, the younger of the two sisters. He kisses Leah at one point. He kisses Lexi, Atlanta girl first out the limo. And he kisses quirky Maria. And that's after Maria said that she's all like, he's been kissing all these girls. I don't really want to kiss him. Maybe I'm going to just like hold off because like I want to set myself apart. And she can't resist.
She folds. She reminds me of some actress. I forgot which one it is.
She does have like a similar face.
Have you ever seen Not Another Teen Movie? And there's the girl that like it's like a play on Cruel Intentions, but she's the one that makes out with the old lady. She reminds me of that actress. You guys would have to kind of like do a little deep dive. I might have to look that one up. But she reminds me of that girl. But anyways, I mean, those are only the kisses that we saw. Those are pretty much the top tier girls we didn't see Erica in there, but like, I mean, he had a good roster going for first night kisses. So what else is going on with drama in the house so far?
Well, back to Jess, I guess, like, you know, Jess becomes that girl by doing the kiss and tell, and everybody's already pissed at her. And it's a long night. There's a shit ton of them. It's so funny when they keep showing different angles of all of them, like in these like 2 rooms of the mansion that they're allowed to be in, it seems like, because it's just like, it's wall to wall sequence. It's just like highlighter and like strappy heels as far as the eye can see. And Jess is like already kind of having this higher mighty like attitude, being like, you know, this is my husband. Like, I don't care if people are mad that I said that I kissed him. Like, this is going to be my husband. Like, I need to spend more time with him. And so she goes and decides to interrupt this girl, Rachel, who is 23 but looks much older than 23, who's talking, like, they're in the midst of a deep conversation about their blended families, about, like, you know, both being, you know, children of divorce and having, like, you know, blended families and blah, blah, blah. And Jess is just, like,
Jess
literally
makes mistake number two. Do not, after having your first kiss or whatever, do not go back in there. Like, just don't. I don't know. Like, it's such a bad look.
Especially after everybody's reaction to your kiss. Like, come on, girly. Like, you don't need to be, you don't need to fight for that. Especially, like, if you walk up and you're hearing them talk about blended families, I don't know, I would just back my ass right up. I'd be like, oh, this seems like a serious conversation. Because then she, like, pops in and she's like, oh, can I steal him for a second? And, like, the girl, Rachel, who's talking to him is all like, really? A second time? And, like, you know, like, do you really gotta, like, I just started, and she's like, could you give us a few minutes? She's like, sure. And so then she just backs up and just hovers in the background, like, awkwardly.
Like, you know, in her mind, she's like, I'm not going to just walk away because that makes me look stupid. But in general, you look even more stupid just standing there waiting.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, not a good look.
And it's like a cock block. What if that girl wanted to give, or wanted, like, you know, was trying to pick up vibes from Joey? Joey's not going to, like, want to kiss whoever in front of, you know,
another girl you just
the
kissed.
other chick night one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she probably wanted to do that anyways, but yeah, so they're definitely gonna have some beef. Well, why don't we get to what, like, the main, like, drama and all that stuff was with this card with Leah?
Yeah. So Leah tells, when she comes up out of the limo, she tells Joey, like, find me inside, we'll open it together. Well, she goes and everyone's like, what's in the envelope? What's in the envelope? You got to tell us. And she's like, I will, blah, blah. And then she goes and, like, obviously is told by producers or something to go in front of the fireplace and open it alone and read it. And she reads it, and the card says that she can steal she can use it to steal a singular one-on-one date anytime leading up to hometowns. So anytime before, as long as she's in there, she could use it to steal a one-on-one date. And she is verklempt when she reads this. She is, like, overcome with emotion. She is, like, very upset because she's all like, yes, a one-on-one date would be favorable. Like, that would be good. But she's like, I don't want to do that to Joey's journey, and I don't, like, want to be, like like there's just more people that get hurt in that situation. And she's like, and plus, like, do I really want to be like force myself on a one-on-one date to then like, what if he doesn't even want to be on a one-on-one date with me? That like doesn't make me feel super good. And she's like crying and whatever, which I did think was like a little dramatic, I would say.
Yeah, that's
like,
where I was just kind of like not like feeling it. If she was just kind of cool about it and not crying, like I think it would have been such a better move, because otherwise I felt like she was just really trying to ham it up for TV or something. And you know, it is. She goes and burns it, and that's such a classy move for like someone to do.
I agree.
But you know, also it's just
and it shows who some of these other women are by like when they're all like, I would have taken it. Like that shows their ass, honestly, because it's all like, okay, like sure, it's a game, but not like, I don't think that's the look you want to have.
No,
you know?
I mean, she, I think she had all the right points. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to like you go and thinking you're going to have a one-on-one date, and then I'm just like, no, I'm going to actually go instead. Like, that would not be a good look on her to Joey, I feel like, you know? And
right.
it's also just a shitty thing for producers to try to get like girls to do on girls. It reminds me of this like, it was a really long time ago, but when I was in Legally Blonde, I watched a show that was on MTV called The Search for Elle Woods, where they were looking for the next Elle Woods for Legally Blonde on Broadway. And they tried to make all the girls like write down a letter of who they thought was like the worst or like wouldn't be like, you know, good enough or whatever. And they all
That's so catty.
It's messed up. But even back then, they were
and
all
isn't true to Elle's character either.
Exactly. And that's what they all said. They were like, this is not very Elle. And I don't think it was a test on them, but they just actually all banded together and were like, we're not going to do that. We're actually going to write things we like about everybody instead. And that's what it kind of reminded me of. But, you know, producers, if they really wanted to give her an edge up, which she did, because of all that, she got the first impression rose, rightfully so.
Right.
And, but they should have given her maybe like an overnight date. Like she gets an overnight date. That's like an advantage. If you're like able to be like, hey, I want it. Would you be open to doing an overnight date? Like, you know, or something like that.
Right.
When you have
like
your one-on-one.
Turn a date she's on into an overnight date for her or something.
And that's a hell of an advantage. But that's not what happened. Like, you know, so yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see what the like some of the theories were of what the card could be. Like, is it she gets
immunity
to, like, immunity? Like what? That's even crazier. But I know that's not your idea. That's what one of them said. But I didn't think that was a good one. Maybe it's like you get to actually look at your phone or something like that. Like these are crazy things.
That would be hilarious. Yeah.
Or maybe you get to like have a day where your family comes and your like your friends come to like kind of like, you know, build you up or something. I don't know. But anyways, she kind of cries and she makes it very dramatic when she tells all the girls, and a lot of the girls were like, yeah, that's a classy move, and she burns it. So there we are. And that leads us to the rose ceremony. And you know, the girl that got interrupted by Jess, she gets like picked almost last. You know, a lot of girls get picked that I thought, you know, wouldn't be there, but they are. And they kind of leave it up to the drama of the sisters. The first sister got picked first and the other sister got picked last. The older sister was like, what did she say? Like she was like swearing at her sister or something, right?
She was all like, you got the first rose, go fuck yourself. Like she like literally was so and like the other girls were like, oh, and I was like, this is like so Philly sisters too. Like that is like such like, those are like such Philly girls being all like, what the fuck? Like the older sister was the one who came in as her entrance and like beat Joey in shotgunning a beer. Like that is just like fuck around and find out attitude from Philly. And it's just like, and of course they give her, Lauren is the older one, give her the last rose just to really like make her way. And like she's already pissed that her sister got the kiss from Joey and she hasn't gotten one. And I think she's gonna fade out. Whenever there's been twins or sisters on this show, there's always one that has to go before the other. Like you can't like.
Isn't it kind of crazy though? Like when you're younger, like you would be like, oh, if there was two sisters, one older, one younger. When you're younger, you'd be like, I'm gonna go for the older sister. But as you get older, you're like, I'm gonna go for the younger sister. Like, you know, it's just interesting, like how that goes. He's obviously more into the younger sister. Like she was picked first. Like, you know, it just.
Right.
it probably doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And the older sister is making it more about the sister thing than Joey. So I actually like the younger sister better. But that's kind of where it leaves us. 10 girls go home. We get a kind of a preview of this season. Anything that stood out to you besides Joey maybe not ending up with anyone at the end again?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's like really standing out to me. Like, I feel like there might be a decent amount of self-eliminations. It looked like there was like a lot of like, I mean, they always show the breakdowns of like, I don't think I can be here. But I wonder if like that really does play into this more. And it looked like they showed like a flash of like a note that's like, we need to talk, come to whatever room. So like, I feel like there might be some like dramatic self-eliminations.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is that Daisy makes it all the way to the end because she's the hot girl. And then I think there was like a voiceover I heard where it's like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. Like she just doesn't.
Yeah, and that was Daisy.
Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I think that's what happens. Obviously, that's what I don't like about this season so far is that Daisy is the obvious person that's going to be like the last one. I have no idea, but she just seems like the producer's pick to be, the front runner. And she almost might be like not feeling Joey at the end of it or something. I don't know, which is it's totally where I feel like the show is going now. It's like, viewers of the show are not feeling it. Now contestants of the show are not feeling it while they're on the show. Like, it's kind of like, it's an interesting turn of the tides. So I'm interested to see how this actually plays out. No offense to Joey. I just don't know. I just feel like there's better bachelors to pick. I
mean, I love Joey, but I do think he's not a show runner. He's not like, I think he's a great bachelor in a lot of aspects, but he's like, they definitely, I feel like they've done this for the last couple of years of Bachelor, is that they're really looking towards the women to run the show. Like, they're really looking for the drama. Hence why they threw this fucking card out, because they're all like, let's stir it up from the jump. Like, I think, like, think about how boring Zach was. Think about how boring Clayton was in general. Like, they were boring men. Like, they weren't super.
You don't think Joey's going to fall into that category?
I don't know. I don't want him to personally, because I really like Joey. Because he was pretty boring, and I think he's on Charity season. Because he's like, my thing is like, he's not dramatic. He's not super like masculine in the sense of like, let me like be all or whatever. Like, I feel like people, eat up the drama of like the dudes who are going to be all like, bro, that's my girl, or like, what are you doing? But like, those are never the dudes that are picked as the leads. They just haven't been the leads pretty much ever, because like that doesn't work well then as a lead with a bunch of ladies. You want to like a more timid dude who's then going to be wooed by the idea that all these chicks are coming after him. Like, if they're not used to the fact that a bunch of bitches are after them, I think they do, like, that's why they get picked as the lead, because then they kind of like can revel in it more. No, I think what they're doing and what they think is a good thing, but is not, is they're picking guys that seem like really, really nice guys, but they want them to make a mistake. So they go through like turmoil by the end of the show, like something where they're just like broken. They want to break these like nice guys. Like how Zach was like, I'm not going to have sex with anybody, and then had sex with people. Yeah, or Clayton. Like Clayton's still dealing with all this stuff. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, Clayton, saying that he loved whoever, and like, I just even think, and then like, think about it, like Ari was like a nice dude too, and then he goes back on his engagement with Becca and goes back for Lauren, and then like, whatever, like if we have to go all the way back to that, like, I mean, at least I can't really get mad at Ari for that, because he's still with Lauren and she is hot. Like, it's like, I think that was a good choice on his part. And look, everyone's happy in the situation now. So right. No, I mean, but I think it is like the nice guy paradox. I think that is definitely what's going on with like how they pick the leads. And I think because they've been doing it the way they have, they are then forcing these women to be the entertainment by pitting them against each other, which I don't think people are into anymore. Like, I'm not into that. I don't want to see women pitted against each other unnecessarily.
Fair. Do we have any other Bachelor stuff that we need to talk about?
So a couple of things that have happened over the past couple of months is that when, I guess, earlier this month, it was the Golden Wedding. And at the Golden Wedding, Brayden and Christina Mandrell got engaged, which is the tackiest thing you could do is to do a proposal at somebody else's wedding. Sure, this was a televised wedding for a Golden Bachelor, and they had like a golden carpet, and that's where they did it. But still, I think it still stands that I think it's not really the time or place. And also, like, it speaks to who Brayden and Christina Mandrell are. They both love the lights. They want to be in that spotlight. And I'm just intrigued to see how long that lasts. I mean, wish them the best.
I think it'll last a while. I think Brayden and Christina are good for each other. They're both eccentric.
I think they make sense as a couple, for sure.
And he's all about like her daughter and stuff too. So I don't know.
Which is great.
I think that goes a long way. I've been seeing this Zach Clark and Caitlin Bristowe stuff. This is pretty scandalous in the sense on two fronts, on multiple fronts, because first of all, this is Caitlin Bristowe, who just goes for guys that have been on The Bachelorette,
Seemingly,
yeah. And for Caitlin Bristowe, like, to go from one guy to another, these are not just like, I don't know, like for someone that's kind of like always talking about how all this stuff is coming her way, it seems like she's going out of her way to do these things. I know you can't help who you like or whatever like that, but this one's pretty egregious because Zach is her ex-co-host and friend's ex-fiance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where's Taisha and all this? I think she's still doing the summer house thing or whatever, like winter house guy or whatever, but
I think she's still with Luke. But I mean, so she's staying unbothered, it seems, at least, which good for her. I think she's just kind of staying in her own lane, doing her own thing, doing her little, like, fashion and fitness and whatever stuff that she does. And I feel like ever since she kind of like left the Bachelor Nation lane of like doing things with them, with hosting and everything like that, or I'm going to say probably got kicked out of that lane just because of how it seemed like that shit kind of went down. I think she's all like, all right, I'm good for that. That's fine. Sure, she's dipped her toe, obviously, in the Bravo lane by like hanging out with Luke. But yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy because, yeah, Caitlin Bristowe, I guess, hosted a New Year's Eve party at her place, and that's like where stuff was originally spotted, was with her and Zach like being cozy during the midnight countdown, and then they were just spotted this past weekend, I think, like dancing and hanging out in a bar in New York, because he's in New York, she's in Nashville. So how do you come about this? How do you?
I just think that she's just a glutton for punishment. It's not like it's going to go down the same path. Here we got a woman that owns like a wine, business. I don't know if she still does it or not anymore, but like, and then you got this guy who's a recovering alcoholic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, recovering addict. Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it addict? So, yeah. So, I don't know. Well, I just say like she's kind of got this, what is it called? Routine, but like cycle, and it doesn't seem like it's. Go find there's got to be another guy out there that has nothing to do with this Bachelor franchise, but
right.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
I just saw a little bit about Kylie on Nick Viall's talking about Avon and their breakup and how he cheated on her multiple times and stuff, and it's just
right.
It's just like all these Bachelor what do they call? I used to call them something, but all these Bachelor alums that go out there and just love to party and just it's all about meeting chicks and meeting other dudes and all this different stuff. And it seemed like he just got caught up in the lifestyle and cheated on Kylie and took full blame for it. Another thing I didn't see on the list is we got news that Rachel Lindsay is getting a divorce.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yes. Crazy, which people had been speculating for probably like the last couple of months because it seems like they had been posting less together, but like they were living pretty, they were both in their own lane. She was doing all of her hosting and like media and like whatever, that kind of stuff. And like he still was working with like his health clinic or practice or whatever.
They seem like they live completely separate lives. Like it never looked like they were living one life at all. Like it didn't even look like their worlds collided at all. Like from the outside in. Like I guess you can't really like see behind closed doors or whatever. But it just, I don't know. It just seemed like they were on two different wavelengths or whatever like that. And
I'm pretty sure he was the one who filed for divorce.
Yeah, I would believe that. And then I think he was asking for like some like spousal stuff or whatever.
Spousal support, which is,
interesting. But let's wrap it up, V. We went a whole hour on just Bachelor stuff, we tend to do. But, guys, do you have any shout outs this week? Do you want to give any shout outs?
I wanted to shout out everybody who helped celebrate my birthday here in Atlanta. I just did a little dinner with some gals and just like everybody who reached out and called me and everything to make me feel special for this new decade. Ooh. And then I wanted to shout out my boyfriend Sean because we are leaving tomorrow. I guess today for those of you who are listening to this podcast, to go to Amsterdam and Belgium for a little belated birthday trip. So that is why you won't be hearing from us next week because I will be abroad. So I'm super excited, and that's his little gift to me, big gift to me. So
amazing.
Thanks to him.
Well, yeah, I just want to shout out to everybody that's listening or watching this right now because I know we've been gone for a little while and we're back and we're just going to pop up sporadically. So if you catch us, you're one of the real ones, and I want to shout out to you. So. All right, guys, that's our show. You heard what V's up to, and I'm just going to keep doing my thing. So you know what it is, and we're back, and you might catch us either. It probably won't be next week because V's going to be gone, but she might still do Tipsy Talks. So reminding you guys that, every week Veronica's on our Instagram, The Future Bachelor, so make sure you go find us there because she's always recapping the show in case you guys are looking for that, and we don't pop up for a week. But catch us probably in a week or two, like 2 or 3 weeks, catching you guys up on where we're at with The Bachelor. Hold it down for us everywhere else, and we love y'all. It's your favorite podcast, Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
And I'm Veronica.
And we love you. Deuces!
Bye!